Hi, my name's Xavier and today I'm going to run through some thoughts of how I approach figure drawing and what I've learned to be in the right mindset to draw the human. For artists and designers, drawing people is fundamental. It's what every art student does, no matter what their specialism, because it's more than just drawing a person in the traditional sense. It's learning to see. It's training to measure in a serious studio environment. It's a transferable skill for anyone in the visual arts. In this short presentation, I'll run through a few basic considerations that I've picked up over the years as an artist and practitioner. So firstly, let's look at the lines of action, those gestural lines that describe the shape and movement of the body. Far too often we get bogged down with details rather than looking at the whole. This is why super fast 30-second 1-minute studies help us get our eye in, to loosen up our hand-eye-brain coordination, to forget about verbal interpretations of what we see and really look at the shapes and forms that your subject is making. The human body, more than any species, has unlimited possibilities for shapes. For example, we can be a circle, a line, a triangle. So look at the overall shape, and this will help you position the figure on your page, on your canvas. Too often artists will start with the head and work their way down to the feet and run out of space. So look at the extremities and make little marks, just little dots, to make sure you place the figure well. And your own body needs to be in the right position too, so stretch, be mindful of your spine, face your subject. Don't move your head too much as you look at the model and down to your drawing. You only need to move your eyes between both. Remember, you are looking, processing, then drawing. It's not efficient to be moving around as well. And you need to have X-ray eyes and understand what's below the surface. This is why understanding anatomy will help you draw better. Ask yourself, where is the spine? Where are the other landmarks of the human anatomy? The rib cage, the pelvis, the cranium. These are called landmarks because they're the important parts of the body that determine our form. And please consider the joints between the bones also. These are far more important clues to correct depiction than the long bones themselves. Again, a little mark where the joints are will help greatly. As an example, look at the hand, and instead of drawing the fingers like sausages, draw the knuckle bones and joints first. Think also about lines of contrast, how the pelvis may be a different angle to the collarbone, the clavicle, a good indicator of how the body is moving in opposite directions. Contrapposto is all about this. It shows weight distributed on one leg. Compare Hellenistic sculpture to early Egyptian sculpture and you can see a far more naturalistic, relaxed approach to humans rather than the vertical, rigid standing figures. And sculptors are a good key too. Their drawings celebrate 3 dimensions. They're not flat. Henry Moore's drawings, as an example, have volume. They show how the artist is searching for form. Proportion is something we learn also as Leonardo da Vinci understood. There are many proportional rules in the average human physique. The length of the average adult body is about 8 heads high, but an infant is only about 4. We have to remember that as we grow older, certain bones grow more. The femur lengthens greatly, but the cranium not much at all. The pelvis is in the middle, and we can go into more detail the more we study. For example, the foot is as long as the distance from the elbow to the wrist, which might seem a little bit strange. But this is because we perceive our feet to be a lot smaller than they actually are. And this is because they are the furthest part of us away from our eyes. Remember, how we perceive isn't necessarily the truth of what is actually there. And be aware of symbolic representations. Don't make a shorthand description of the body parts you're drawing, especially the head. Go back to the skeleton. Remember we have a neck, the cervical vertebrae, and again the beautiful S-like twist of the spine is what makes us what we are. We aim for fluidity in our marks, not rigid straight lines. We can describe the human form in just simple S or C or circle shapes, as William Hogarth did in his social documentary studies of life in London in the 18th century. Avoid straight lines. The secret to drawing humans on location is fluid lines using these simple shapes for the access lines rather than the outlines, as the brilliant Hogarth did as he observed daily life. Never draw the outline of a person. It's the internal lines that matter. And remember the physics of our bodies on planet Earth. Gravity is an invisible force that has shaped our bodies through evolution, but also how we understand the sense of solidity and the mass of the person in the drawing. Ask yourself, where is the center of gravity? How is weight distributed? Teleport yourself into the body of your subject and imagine their physical awareness of existence. Imagine what they feel like physically. Forget about you. Be the subject in your drawings. The key to drawing is to look very hard, but be mindful of the rules. It's an ebb and flow between understanding through knowledge and looking hard with intent. It demands concentration and focus. Today I've given you a very quick summary of what I've learnt over the years, but I wholeheartedly believe life drawing is far more than just drawing. It is very good for our mental health because we have to be centered. There is no room for distraction. We eliminate the white noise of negative thoughts. We consider our own physicality as we move into the marks, feel our core, and what it means to be a human being. Thank you very much for listening to this, and please take very good care of yourselves.